Chair. I recognise Councillor Harvey said being stuck between a rock and a hard place, because I'm standing here tonight with two parts of my portfolio against each other. I have said I will fight for leisure, but I also have said I will fight for flooding and environment, and I feel absolutely rotten tonight. I had to recognise that Council might wish to adjust our current balanced budget to provide money for leisure. So like every other portfolio holder, I had to look at my portfolio. And it was with deep regret that the only two areas that fit the criteria are the resources earmarked for mitigating flooding and the sustainability or climate change officer. Just to be clear, the flood resource, if that is withdrawn, we would drop to doing the bare minimum as a lead local flood authority. It would, in all likelihood, be less than we have been doing because of pressures in other areas of highways. Highways would also have to continue to service the planning applications as they do now, but with increasingly complex legislation. And as my colleague here mentioned, the new planning regulations mean that if we take too long over that, we have to return the fees. So that would be a double whammy. So, and I have to say, I think everybody sitting around this table knows how hard highways are being pushed. I do not wish to do anything that makes that worse. It is true that one climate change officer in Rutland is not going to reverse global climate change. We should, however, be doing our part and maximising our impact. But at a recent seminar, I was told that what we're looking at in climate change in this country is not so much changing it as looking at mitigating the effects. We can't stop it. It's on a roller coaster. And those impacts of climate change, flooding is but one that we need to work on. Alongside that, we have an ecological crisis. We are in the process of engaging with the nature recovery strategy. That would be an integral part of this officer's post. The local area energy plan would be an integral part of this officer's post. The impact of the loss of these two resources would be felt across Rutland. It has not been a choice to pick the most emotive. I have heard that said. Let me assure you it isn't. But a choice to pick the areas that would not cause council redundancies or ongoing loss of savings to the council. But I think it's fair to say people will feel very let down after promises were made on both sides of this. Both sides. I'm not denying that. I personally made promises to people in a public meeting on flooding that I would do everything in my power to mitigate those losses into the future. So for all those reasons, despite recognising these are the only areas that can transfer money into leisure, I am minded to vote against these recommendations. And let's be honest, they're recommendations that I put together unless the debate persuades me otherwise. Thank you.
Councillor Wise. Any other members?